it gives us immense pleasure in welcoming our today's chief guest, Mr. Jayamurhan R, as our first starting batsman of this episode to be named as Mugavari, where we'll be calling personalities to have a short interview with them who are specialized in each field. And likewise, we have our first batsman of in accordance to celebrate Indian Air Force Day. So, Mr. Jayamurhan has his experience in Vision Defense Institute as Director of Academics since 2018, and he has been also doing freelancing, leadership coaching, and academic analytics from January 2015. He has many awards and credits to his name as All India Best Cadet Air Wing Championship in Aquatics, Inspirational Motivation, and so long. And definitely, he is an inspirational speaker as well as a person who's with us today. So, on behalf of the organization and on behalf of Ezeal, we welcome him with our wholehearted thanks. And to interview him, today we have with us Ms. G. Jayabharati, who's the Chief Executive Coordinator of Aasaan Edutainment. And you can start off with the interview session. We are once again very glad to welcome you to this function.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay. Thanks for the intro, Mr. Pavel. So we shall begin. To everyone who are seeing this, with respect and honor, happy Indian Air Force Day, and sir, for you also in special. So
we have. Wish you the same too.
Thank you so much, sir. So we have Mr. R. Jayamurgan, a special person to address this session. Brief on Indian defense. Just a short, short saying about Indian defense.
Sure. Indian Armed Forces, which guards India from any external aggression, or which helps or which gives helping hand to the. It can be both. So Indian Armed Forces is basically comprises of three wings: Army, Navy, and Air Force, and they have a primary role of protecting our country. And if you take Indian Army, protecting the borders, land frontiers; Navy, Indian Ocean, and the Air Force, guarding the airspace of India. Right. They also have another additional role of helping out the civilians when we face difficulties. Say, for example, when there is a natural calamity, of course, end of the day, we rely upon the armed forces, be it Operation Rahat, be it any other operation, like say, for example, rescue missions, or it's going to be a national security, and again, the armed forces which is involved for the help, and at the same time protects the sovereignty of India. Okay. That's how the armed force goes. So basically, people in armed forces are recruited from various backgrounds. Like even after graduation, people are recruited. At the time of first standard, they are recruited. And I would say Indian Army, Indian Armed Forces is a perfect mix of nation, with the feeling of oneness.
Okay, so thanks for the brief on Indian defense. Can you say what attracted you to this field? You are an Air Wing and you are an RD cadet with BC Gold West Cadet Corps. So may I know what captured you actually to this field?
So basically, when I was studying in my fourth standard, my dad asked me, "What is that which you want to become?" I said, "I want to fly." And then he found out a very good school for me, Sainik School, which I wrote the exam. I wrote the entrance examination,
okay.
And I got into the merit list of getting Tamil Nadu 12th. So got the full scholarship and joined the Sainik School. It is where we have been nurtured to become armed force officer. The goal of Sainik School is to bring in a wonderful candidate to join the NDA, National Defense Academy. And I was having the same factor, and I followed up my seniors, and I took up advices, I took up suggestions from my seniors. And of course, one thing which I decided was I want to fly. That's what in my mind. And one day or the other day I should be flying. That's what I had in my mind. But of course, the something, there is always twists and turns in life, right?
Yes.
That's how it landed up. I completed my 12th standard and got recommended for the SSB2, SSB.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it went on. But I couldn't join, unfortunately, because of medical issues.
Okay.
Then joined my college, again having the aspiration to join the Air Force. Did my BSc Physics. Then I joined the Indian Army, NCC, National Cadet Corps, which is one of the largest youth organization in India.
Yeah.
Disciplined, of course.
Okay.
Disciplined youth organization in India, who can be relied upon. So that is where I got a chance to fly at least twice. I'm very happy that I've at least took off and landed. I was very happy for that. And of course, the journey started. Right from first standard, it went on, and that's how it went on. So I happened to reach the RD parade where I got the volunteer Miss Cadet.
Oh, very nice of it.
The journey went
So
on.
you were in the junior wing in school?
I was in junior division, yes, of course. For male, it is junior division. So I was in junior division average.
Okay, so your interest has started from school days itself.
Yes, of course. I was in junior division airwing. It started there. And I have experience of parasailing, which was motivated there.
Oh, good.
And we got exposed to the parasailing.
Okay, fine. Nice to hear that. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
So, can you explain us how far India is rich comparing to other countries in terms of weapons, in terms of power?
In terms of power, I would say, quoting only, I'll be highlighting the Indian Air Force. Right? In terms of modernization, and of course, we are equipping ourselves to a great extent. And you must be knowing that recently Rafale was inducted into the Indian Air Force, one of the medium multi-role combat aircraft. And Indian Air Force, I would say there are a lot of success stories about Indian Air Force. Right from 1947, when the partition of India was happening, the Royal Indian Air Force, which was divided into two, that is Royal Indian Air Force and Royal Pakistan Air Force. There it started in 1947, the first war in Pakistan, where Indian Air Force put up a very exemplary show. And 1961 Operation Vijay, which helped in end of rule of Portugal in Goa, Daman, Diu, etc. In 1965, again the war with Pakistan, where 28 combat squadrons were participating, and they engaged very actively and controlled the Pakistan Air Force. In 1971, again, the role of MiG-21. We must be knowing that MiG-21
Yes.
Bison, which was
recently,
very recently, last year in the news, right? And the real capacity was tested at that point of time, 1971 war. In 1984, Operation Mehrut, in which Air Force participated, and we were able to reclaim Siachen Glacier, capture the Siachen Glacier. That is one. In 1999, the Indian Air Force did Operation Safid Sagar. Right. So these are some of the missions which we have been successfully doing it, and there has been continuous upgradation in Indian Armed Force weapon systems as well as the modern aircraft. Like say a recent example, I would say S-400s and aircrafts like Rafale, and equipping with the Chinook and Apache class helicopters. So these are some, where we can see we are performing better. And of course, when we have a comparison, still we are when we say, for example, the production part, the defense production, and of course, lot of points have been noted, and a lot of production defense production companies are coming up, and FDIs have been opened up to boost the defense production for indigenous factors. So we must be knowing that HAL has given Tejas, light combat aircraft.
Yes.
So it took a long time to realize that, but of course, that was a wonderful one. And we are still making up a lot of things. Like we have upgraded Sukhoi 30, we have upgraded MiG-29s with a license from Russia. HAL is doing all this, right? So when we compare, India is the fourth largest air force and one of the best.
Very nice. Yes, and our country is known for youth power. So it is eventual that all these are possible.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so your idea about border issue with neighboring countries, you have any personal idea about that? From anything, past or present, whatever.
My idea with border issues, I would
Yes.
say there should be political intention towards solving that. Say, for example, there was a border issue with Bangladesh and India. Uh, Various packets of lands were into the Bangladesh, and some packets of Bangladeshi land was there in India.
Mm-hmm.
And there was constitutional amendment for that, and we handed over, we bifurcated that, and we handed over the lands to them, and they handed over the lands to us. Likewise, I strongly feel that we should go for amicable settlement with enough talks, and of course,
Okay.
both sides should be ready for that.
Okay, okay, fine. So, okay, sir. Good to know that. So, your idea is like your motto is face it, solve it, and win it, right? That is your
Yes,
motto. Can you elaborate it, please?
yeah. Face it whenever we face troubles, and of course, we should not take a step back. We have been taught in whatever the military training is, we have been taught to take the first step. We are always hesitant to take the first step. You take any youth, or you take anybody who wants to attend the interview. The first step is applying for that, and then taking the next step. Next step is moving towards the place where the interview is happening. I recently happened to update from one of the placement officers, long back, of course. Recently, in the
Okay.
sense, when we were having conversations, we used to have conversations with placement
Okay,
officers.
okay.
So when we had, there was a point here. The nearby college, there was an open placements going. And
Okay.
when 80 students have been permitted to go and attend the interview, only 2 turned up. 78 did not reach. So they were hesitant to take the first step. So I would say, face it. That's the first point which I would say. Let it be any problem, stand before it. Take a look at it. Then you will obviously get the clarity on how to solve it.
Yes. So it is not just in defense, like normal people, like in any situation, they are unable to face it. It comes under life skills actually. And
Yes, of course.
defense is a practical example of
Yes,
dependency.
true. Every day in and day out, people are facing a lot of crises. They face a lot of challenges. People posted at various places. Say, for example, the land frontiers. You can take Jammu and Kashmir. You can take Assam. You can take Arunachal Pradesh. People have been, facing a lot of issues, but still they face it. That's a point.
So facing matters. Eventually, solving
Yes,
and
of course.
winning will come together.
Yes, of course. Eventually, when one should always look at a problem not from the problem approach. They should look at from the solution approach. They should take a solution approach for a problem. Only then they will be able to get the solution. If they are focusing on the problem, then there is no point in getting the solution.
Yeah.
And there won't be any way for that.
Yeah.
So they should obviously have a point they should have solution approach to a problem.
Mm. So basically, in defense, the cadets, the people will be with strong mental ability.
Of course, both
Because
physical and
physically
mental.
and mentally, they'll be trained.
Physically tough and mentally strong.
Nice to that. Okay, very nice. Okay, sir. So may I know your view in practicing and training that physical fitness and mental training? Can you say about it some words?
When it comes to physical fitness, I still remember my medical checkup. What happened in my medical checkup? They tested right from the top of the head to the toe. Right. Even if you have bad tooth, you'll be said to have a permanent filling. Right. Such as the factor, the physical fitness is very important. Say, for example, if a person with bad tooth skips 2 days in training, he loses something there. Some skills which he had to learn is missed out there. And if for somebody who's physically not fit, definitely the confidence of a person is affected. And when the confidence of a person is affected, obviously the other factor of the mental capacity is also affected. And of course, when an officer is selected, he is supposed to lead people by being an example. And here, he needs both physical as well as mental capacity to lead. When it comes to mental capacity, the SSB test people on 3 aspects. One is psychological aspect, other one is group behavioral aspect, and another one is the personal interview, where they see a sync of three aspects. One is thoughts, words, and actions. And these three are in coordination, and these three are in sync with each other. It's a triangular model, like, words, thoughts, actions.
Okay. One is dependent on another.
Obviously.
Okay. So, courage and victory are two different phases, but still, how can one relate it together? It is, of course, dependent. I said this triangle. This is also dependent. Courage and victory are two different things. How can one relate it to other aspects of life, sir?
Courage and victory. Courage, as I said, facing any trouble. One need to have courage to face any trouble. They should gear up the strength to stand up against challenge. Right. Only, I would say courage is the initial step towards it. That's how it is related. So courage is the initial step. You should have the courage to face the challenge. And when you win it, obviously it's going to be when you solve it, and obviously you're going to win it. The courage is interrelated with the victory as initial step.
Okay.
Touch the sky.
Touch the sky with glory. Yeah, that is our motto.
Touch the sky with glory.
And it is just like a sentence, but it has so much of meaning in it. And one more thing
very interior.
A strong meaning, like even like people from our point of view, we will say like only defense people, but actually it is for all, I guess.
Yes, of course. It is not only to the Air Force. Touch the sky with glory. You would have seen many civilians also performing great.
Yeah.
And definitely they should be appreciated. Even they touch the sky with glory, of course. They take pride in achieving something.
Yes, that's true. And this phrase, touch the sky with glory, this is taken from Bhagavad Gita actually.
Yes.
And it is something that is not being told to many. This is actually an unknown fact.
Yes.
We'll just see the physical thing. But behind that, there is a strong empowerment of mental strength, because on the warfield, the soldier is powerless without the weapon. His mental ability speaks. That's the hardest training, I guess, that has been.
Of course, one is. I would say the armed forces trains people or prepares people to face the death boldly.
Yes.
So they are skilled up. I would say they are professionals in what they are doing. They are very professional in what they are doing. And that's the reason why when we all the latest technologies will be utilized by the mostly if you see the latest technologies are the armed forces are equipped with the latest technologies. And if there is some issue or some national calamity, we immediately look up to the armed forces. The reason is that is Indian Armed Forces is one of the well-disciplined and structured organization.
That is true.
Be it command, be it hierarchy, it is very clearly written, well-written structure is there. And they follow it. And that makes it very disciplined.
Yeah.
And that's how, when in disaster or in calamity, they were able to work in coordination with each other.
And these types of things are embedded into, like in children, it is done in Sainik school. From the childhood, they will be training. I guess it must be in every other field. So only there are PT periods, which mostly maths teachers will be borrowing. And nowadays it has reduced. We are realizing so. So can you tell us your proudest moment, your proudest achievement during your career or JW?
Okay. I was both in JD as well as SD. I took up the All India Best Cadet when I was in SD, senior division. Right.
Okay.
My proudest moment is that I feel every day that I should get up and I should definitely make sure that I should be making productive this day. Right. And every day I make it productive. I definitely feel the proudest. That is the proudest. And there are certain events in my life which I regard as one of the best part. Of course, I cherish every moment, but I regard certain points as best, where I learned and I moved forward. I didn't know swimming when I joined the Sainik school. One of my friends taught me swimming there, and I was able to make a record in my school. I still hold the record. It's still there in the board in swimming.
Nice, very nice to know that. Congratulations.
That is one of the proudest. And meeting Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. That's another proud moment. And getting his autograph, having conversation with him, and that 15 minutes conversation, really I could never forget that. I still hear the words of him, you know.
Yeah,
I could see, you know, though we have heard about him, I've read his books, but when I met him, I could see the vibrations. So I would say that, no, really, you know, such kind of humanity and humility. That's the great part. You know? Simplicity, I would say simple and humble.
Yeah, he is known.
Reaching great heights, being simple and humble. Nobody can, you know. That's really tough. And of course, he did.
So I guess that is the most golden moment for you.
Golden moment in my life.
It is the most golden moment. Not everyone will get the chance to see him from from your age.
And being a cadet, I got a chance. That's the highlight.
That's the thing I said. Being a cadet and meeting him is something to be marked as golden. Not everyone will get that opportunity.
Yes.
Okay, sir, was there any person in your career who really made a difference in your life? Any specialized person behind your success or their josh?
My father and mother. I never, of course, there are many people. I would regard my father, my mom and dad as the priority here. My dad never, takes a step back when he begins to work. He moves forward and he tries to accomplish it, and he accomplishes that.
Was your father in defense?
No, ma'am. He was a primary school headmaster. And being a primary school headmaster, he marched up he took up a lot of steps. And I would say because of him around, yes.
So his power has given you such a josh.
Yes, of course. His actions are the one which actually impacted a lot. Every now and then he thought of helping out people. How should I reach out people? What benefit they can have? When I asked, Dad, I need 500 rupees. Same time, when somebody is wanted to pay fees, rather you cut my packet and then give to them. Such is the situation. You can manage. You're 18 plus. Why don't you manage yourself? So he took care. At the same time, he taught me how to grow independent.
Yes, how to be responsible.
Nobody, very hard to get that.
Yeah, that is
today, he made me to make decisions right from my second standard. Whatever I need, he made me you think on this and decide. Do not ask me what to choose. Okay. So decision making is one of the important important trait or important character to be acquired by the armed force people. And of course, and that was groomed by my dad right from. I'm really happy with that.
So behind your inspiration, your energy, it was your dad and mom.
Yes.
Great. Yes. Okay. So can you give some examples of ideas you have had or implemented during your training? So that because when we are doing something, it may go wrong.
Yes.
Orally speaking, it might work, but in practical, it might go wrong. So was there any actual practice that you had, any special thing that you have implemented?
Yes. Say for example, people used to worry about, say for example, it happened in my 10th standard.
Okay.
10th standard, and I still apply that even today. Though it is in 12th standard, it happened in 10th standard, I still apply it today. And I still tell the trainers to, make people, to reach out to this particular practice. Say for example, a candidate is studying science. If he is not able to grasp the concepts, I would suggest him not to stress upon that initially. But I would suggest them not to stress first and then gradually introduce it. Say for example, rather than picking up one particular chapter, go with one by one particular topic. That is one way of training people. And the people, they might be slow learners. People generally think like, if it is taught in the class, it should be known immediately. Be it public speaking skill, be it anything. Say, for example, even for the public speaking skill, at the very first moment I stood up on the stage, I fainted.
Oh my God. Okay.
And today I'm able to address lot many people.
Great.
I addressed the largest crowd which I addressed was largest gathering which I addressed was around 4,000.
Wow, wonderful. Okay.
So that was the factor. The initial day when I started, people used to say that, criticize people. People used to pinpoint, you are doing this, you are doing that. Rather than saying pinpointing, science or you don't get science, you cannot read science. Rather than saying that, yes, you can do it, but you should work this way. Give them suggestions that will help. The trainers should always give suggestions to the candidates so that they can improve upon, not to pinpoint their mistakes and put them wrong. And definitely that will have impact on their confidence level and the learning capacity too. I have used this twice. Say, for example, I took this from the book which Dr. Ezeal wrote.
Yes, please.
The anecdote went like this. Abdul Kalam sir, as well as the cousin of them, they were playing near the beach, and there was a tree on which they were sitting. And there was a wind which very fast wind was moving around. And Abdul Kalam's father said, "Kalam, catch hold of it, hold it tight." That was the command given that was the instruction given by his father. And cousin's mother, she said, "Kila vidundra pora getima pudichko." The mind processed, "Kaiya vitta kila vidundrumo," so you have to hold it. Right, literally, but before the process happened, she fell down. Right, but Kalam was safe. That's how it goes. So you give suggestions. So we should as a trainer, we should give suggestions to people so that they improve upon, so that they develop the learning capacity. It should not be a curtailing point. It should not be a point where they don't like the subject and go back. We have heard this in our junior classes, maybe. Which subject do you like the most? People used to say physics, chemistry, biology. Which subject you don't like? I don't like mathematics.
Yeah.
General.
Yeah.
Wherever, I don't like mathematics. Okay. Even today, when you ask candidates, what are the tables? Why you are mugging? If you're joining after your graduation, you're trained for 1.5 years. If you're joining the NDA and coming here to the AFA, 3 years in NDA and 1 more year will be there in AFA. You get commissioned as flying officer. And of course, from there, timely promotions will be there up to the rank of wing commander. And post that, the promotions will be based on the performance.
So all these processes, the procedures for all the tri-forces, will it be similar?
Similar. The similar ranks will have the same timely promotions. Say, for example, in Army, Lieutenant, Captain, Major, Lieutenant Colonel. Up to this, these promotions will be there. And of course, further, it will be selection grade where promotions will be based on the performance.
Okay, so the duties are the same, only the names differs as per the force. Army, Navy,
yes, of course.
Air Force.
Yes, of course. Their role will be changing. In case of Army, their role will be totally different. And in case of Air Force, the role is changing.
Okay. Okay, sir. So I would like to know, what is the most difficult assignment for you, given by your trainer or your senior during your training? In examinations or physical training test. Or in general for students, what is the most difficult thing that they face in today's world?
Yes, of course. The concentration part will be the difficult one, most of the times. If one is able to concentrate, obviously they will be able to grasp it. But it is the concentration which is lacking in most of the students, where they are not able to grasp the content. That is always there in the case of most students face a lot of issues in this part. The concentration and grasping power. That is the complicating capacity.
Okay, so first of all, the interest matters. Doing workouts, physically we'll be tired. So at that time, concentration, of course, eventually it will lack.
Yes, of course. But when it comes to armed forces training,
Mm.
think of it is not about interest here. It is about life.
Yeah. Okay.
So obviously we need to focus, and there should be focus because it is not about the interest of a person. It is about the organization and the goal and the principle and the values which the organization carries. So here, end of the day, any task it has to be performed. So there is
Any
no point
task,
of interest.
any
It has to
task
be
at any
performed
time.
at
Is it
any
like
time.
that? Is it like
Yes,
that?
of
Any
course.
task, any time.
Any task, any time. So you should be ready to learn first of all. So the ability, when you have the inquisitiveness to learn things, yes, what next? What next? When you ask this question, what next I can learn? And of course, you should be ready for that. And if you're ready, obviously, you not feel like no, I don't have interest. When you're ready to learn, when you're open to learn, of course, interest will not be a blockade there.
Yeah. As you said, it is not like interest, it is life. That's right. Everything is understood there itself. So, okay. So, what is your personal point of view? What is your statement towards IAF? In your view, like there are so many behind screen actions, like as per the curriculum and syllabus, these will be there. But when we face it, it really will be tough. So, as per your view, what is the thing that is too difficult for recent people to handle?
I would say inspire, be the best and inspire the rest.
Nice. Okay. Be the best singer. Okay. Fine. So, okay. Your tips for studying, for preparing for defense exams.
So I've been in this field for, as an institution, we established to 2018. But I've been in this field for more than 8 years by this time. More than 8 years actually. So I
Mm.
started training people in the year 2011 to be precise. So candidates generally they don't take efforts towards what they wanted. That is the major issue. They have the interest. They have the saying that they write the ranks in front of their names. Say for example, I want to become an IAS officer. You write Jay Murugan IAS, Jay Murugan IPS. You write all these names. When I wanted to become a flying officer, I wrote flying officer Jay Murugan. Of course, but the twist and turns, the medical problem, though got recommended, though got selected to the merit list, I was not able to join because of my medicals. Of course, that's a turn. That's totally not
That
in
is
our hands. Yeah.
unpredictable. Yeah.
What do you have to do? What students have to do is that you should be having the interest and at the same time, the effort part. You should have the interest towards making the efforts towards your
Mm-hmm.
goal. It's just in the thought. It's just in the thought and just in the words, not in the action part. And I suggest everyone to be in the action part rather than only in thought part. Say, for example, if somebody wants to help people, if it is just there in the mind, we may not be doing it. But somebody who gives a helping hand, obviously is no. It is action which speaks better. And this goes in the military training, like lead by example. Lead by example. So you got to be an example there. So to prepare for the defense services exam, I would suggest you to have a vast reading. Like when you go to SSB, of course, you should be having well-equipped knowledge. And those days, when we went for SSB, even to go and browse, we need to stand in a queue to check which browsing center will have, will be free, etc., etc. And today, everything we have in the palm top. We have a mobile phone, and we just browse it. Even kids know how to browse. Everything is there. So you should know before preparing for the examination, get the previous year question papers with you. That is one very important thing. And this is for the written examination. Get the
Okay.
previous year question paper, get the syllabus, check for what you know, and if you don't know something, start preparing on those things. That's very essential. Take your books, check, ask your seniors, ask the mentors. If you wanted to have, say, for example, try for the SSB, it is not that, so though I run a center, to train people, I still recommend, it is not necessary that you go for a coaching center and learn.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
If you are capable enough, there are people who came and I said, no, you are capable on your own, you can do it. And they did it. And they joined and said, yes, sir, you said we did it. Simple.
They can do
And the
simple.
capacity is already there. The capacity is already there to do it. And then why you pressurize yourself in a different way? Okay.
So you made it simple for those candidates. They
Yes,
just
of
need
course.
something to trigger.
So that's a trigger which they need. And of course, there is a lot of energy and money involved in it, of course, in case of when one person is getting trained in centers. Right. Though I run a center, I say this frankly, this is the truth. Okay. I say people, if they can go on your own, yes, of course, that is needed. And only people who need help can be helped out, not everyone. Prepare, read lot, keep yourself updated with the current affairs, happenings around, and check the previous question papers, and in case of written examination. And for the interview part, I would suggest you to take the first step, go forward. If you want to plant a tree, go be a volunteer. Say there will be some organization who plants trees. Go with them, do it. Let that be in action. Don't keep only in thoughts. You want to donate blood. Don't keep that in your idea. No, don't keep that in mind alone. Go. Reach out to the blood donation camps. Give your blood. And
So
when you put
action
everything into
speaks.
action, yes, of course. When you put that, you obviously equip yourself towards that. You're aligning towards cracking the exams and interviews and going on.
Okay. Okay, sir. So, if we say the word defense, normally what is understood is you must have full physical fitness. But while he or she is wearing glass specs,
Okay.
this is
So
also
in case of Air Force, they should be having 6x6 without spectacles, of course.
no, sir. For such people, is there any other field apart from this? They want to join, but because of the specs, for an instance, I'm saying, like this small
Okay.
piece.
See, in armed forces,
Hmm.
it is not very, say for example, up to the power of plus or minus 3.5 is allowed.
Okay.
Many people think, no, to join the Air Force, we should not wear specs. Even in Air Force, there are there are various branches.
Hmm.
Say, for example, there is technical branch. If one is graduate in engineering, obviously can join the technical branch where he or she can, who is wearing specs, with a power of plus or minus 3.5 is allowed. In administrative branch, only in flying branch, the specs is not allowed. Otherwise, in administrative branch, logistics branch, accounts branch, meteorological department, in all these things, specs is allowed. And
Okay.
people are less aware of that. And even when we say the common word like defense services, it needs pakka physical fitness, like 6x6, high power should be there.
Mm-hmm.
And one should see that actually. And people are in the very first, entry, they see the flying branch, high power should be 6x6, they cancel it. That's all. I should not try this. But people are there on administrative branch, logistics branch, who have been performing. I don't think only flying is the only role of Air Force. No, it's not so. Flying is one of the prime factor, and of course there are a lot of supportive factors which is working around. A person, say for example, today when we have this meeting, of course, background work have been done.
Yes, of course.
Supportive works have been done, and this is the final output. That's it. So likewise, background, say for example, flying is done. The pilot doesn't care about where the fuel is coming from.
Oh my
It is
God.
the logistics and administration who have to take care of that. They have to supply the fuel on right time. So it is their responsibility. So each and every role is fixed, and they have certain responsibilities to be carried out. Fixed responsibilities to be carried out.
So unity speaks.
Yes, of course. It's a joint work. It's not. It's not going to be a individual
Even
work. Of course, when a pilot is flying, when he faces danger, of course, he takes his decision. And apart from that, he needs ground support. That's obvious. And of course, they know how to work independently as well as with the team.
like for non-defense people, only from films we get to know about this. So fighter pilot, that specific word alone gives so much of importance. And for other categories, studies matters and physical fitness. There are some exceptions, but studies matters. There is some different view between that and this. One last question. Yeah, can you say about your team?
So we started this organization, Mission Defense Institute in Tambaram, East Tambaram, Chennai,
Okay.
2 years back. It was a brainchild of three people who worked over it, and we have a wonderful team. You, Mr. Leo, Mr. Suryoli, and we have other team members. Akash is there, and Abhisha ma'am is there, and we have Tamari ma'am. We have. I'm very proud to say that we have Abdul Kalam in our team.
Wow.
It's the name of one of the trainer here.
Okay, nice.
So he's one of they're one of the we have a physical trainer. We have Rajkumar. They have been doing a great job, and to this date we have produced 100% results in case of soldier entries and admin entries and sailor entries. And in case of officers, we have been of course it's a tough one. In 2 years, we are able to send in some 18 to 25 people into the armed forces, into the
So
officer category.
actually, is it only for IAF? Like you,
No, not alone for the AF. It is for the Army, Navy, Air Force.
like you trainers are being categorized for IAF, IANS. Is there any category or all together for examinations you'll be trained?
For example, like civil services exam, you must have been knowing. They write civil service exam, they join the, some become IAS, some become IPS, some become IFS, some become IRS. Likewise, in case of Indian Armed Forces, there are a set of few examinations for graduates. It is combined defense service exam where one can opt for all the three services, and the other one is Air Force Common Admission Test where one can opt for the Indian Air Force, both into the ground duty as well as flying branch. I mean, ground duty and technical branches can be opted. And the other, say for example, the Indian Naval Entrance Test, that is specifically for Indian Navy. So we have these kind of tests for the graduates. And there is one more for the NDA, this for the
National
people
Defense
who
Academy.
complete full standard, National Defense Academy or NA exam, we call it, NDA or NA exam. All these exams happen twice a year. So the recruitment is every 6 months. Approximately every year, 2,400 something is a set of people are recruited to become officers in armed forces.
Okay.
Which is thrice than the civil service, which happens once in a year. So here you get an opportunity to become a group 1 officer. Same like IAS and IPS, it's equivalent to that. So only less people know about this. So this is where we train them. And apart from this, there are other direct entries called technical graduate course, technical entry scheme for 12 standard, 10 plus to BTech entry for 12 standard, TGC, that is technical graduate course for the graduates, engineering graduates, and short service commission technical for both women and men. And that is it. And university entry scheme. So these are and we have judge advocate general. It is for the people who take up law as their graduation. So everybody, the defense has recruitment for all the spheres. You did mechanical engineering, you have a chance. You did civil engineering, you have a chance there. So you have chances there in armed forces to explore. So this is where we train people, and we train people for the interview and personality development. So this is where we train. This is the area where we cover.
Okay, so whatsoever the subject may be, everything has a part in defense. Everything has a career in defense.
Yes.
Okay, so very good to know.
So it's about the career in defense service. That's the reason why we have the name Vision Defense.
Yeah, very nice.
Particularly about the.
Okay, sir. So good to know about that. Finally, do you have anything to address to the audience who are seeing this?
One thing I would like to mention:
yes.
Never ever hesitate. If you want something, go for it. And that's a word. Be the best and inspire the rest. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your motivational speech.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. As you have already stated, it is self-discipline, self-confidence, self-motivation, and self-esteem. To put all these into one single phrase, it is like put your words into works.
Yes.
That is the ultimate thing that we have learned as today through your interview session, and touching from your parents, being able to meet Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Though we don't have such great legendary people with us now, we have his words, like you people carrying it towards the youngsters, and we are so thankful for that. And you talked about your entire team to whom we are also thankful, to Ezeal, Mr. Suryaoli, Mr. Akash. It was possible to join us today for this grand occasion. And at last, like you have made it a wholesome for the first ever interview that we have had it through this Mugavari episode. And we really thank you and appreciate your patience and for sparing us your golden time with us, sir. It's really been an honor
It's
to
my
us.
pleasure. It's my pleasure and it's my honor.
Thank you so much, sir. And like I would like to thank all our organization members and our chief executive coordinator who interviewed to you today, Ms. G. J. Bharti. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
And
much.
thank you. Like our success always lies with coordination, is what we believe, and we expect future more coordinations with Ezeal also. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.